Can we talk careers really quickly? Hold on. It's not your career, okay? This is just things in general, okay? Most specifically, why do people dream of labor? Why are we put in boxes specifically for like, what do you want to be? And thirdly, why do we maintain these structures? Okay, so to the first point, it sounds so elementary, but what is your dream job? What did you want to be? This isn't like me like being condescending or anything like that. Like first and foremost, like literally, it really ain't about that. I'm just saying it in this kind of way. But what was your dream job when you were a kid? Personally, me, I wanted to be a scientist. I saw a doctor's laboratory and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a secret laboratory. I'm gonna be building things up in there like 24/7, science, doing everything for science. I'll still be doing things for science to this very day. Absolutely. But I'm more or less an accountant now. So funny how that, how life just throws you a curveball and you're like, whoop, whoop-de-doo. I guess I'll just go with the motions and, continue to like make a little bit of money and trade my time in for money, more or less. Yeah, but let's not get gloom and doom. I don't like any of my videos to be very gloomy and doomy personally. But first off, let me know, what is your dream job? What was the job that you dreamed of? Back to what I was saying, of course. I wanted to be a scientist. But why did I want to be a scientist besides Dexter's laboratory? Why did I dream of labor? Shouldn't we always do what we want to do? Are we not adults? But we're in a setting where we're kind of basically, you work 40 hours a day. The kids go to school and do their 40 hours. They don't get paid for it. Honestly, there should be a program in place for when a child shows up every single day for school. They should also have like a savings account, like, funded by the state, so they can have money in there. And once they graduate, they'll have something to put towards college. But there apparently is no, there's not going to be a thing, I guess, in America, because like we really don't invest in our children like we should. Like reform is absolutely needed personally, but I think that'd be a really good idea. But yeah, why are we supposed to dream of labor and put into the same confines that we were as kids? And they'd be like, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want, but also you're an adult. And you know exactly what I mean. You're an adult. So which means you have to live in the real world and you can't really dream. Have you dreamt lately? I've been dreaming, and I haven't been dreaming for like, before then it's been years, but here we are today. Crazy, right? But back to that dream job. Why do they make us dream of such things? There's nothing wrong with having ambition. It's absolutely perfect for you to have ambition. In fact, that makes a lot of things more interesting, a little bit of spice, so they say. But there has to be more to life than just the job and the dream job that you would want. And people are like, oh, once you have a job you like and you love, it's like you're not even doing a job anymore. But have you seen people, for instance, become streamers, right? And some people are like, oh, I really shouldn't have turned my hobby into my job. So when they do their job, even when I play games nowadays and I stream too, I'm like, dang, I like to have my recreational games, but I feel like this recreational game could technically be turned to a stream. And I'm like, well, it's kind of defeating the purpose. But I'm doing that for other reasons as well. Like, for streaming, mostly to be able to build community around gaming, because I want to enjoy gaming again. So like, that's also what the Twitch is there. Twitch is also in the link in bio as well. Don't mind that laugh. But yeah, there's a reason there's a reason for everything that I do. And that's why I do that personally. So, but yeah, your dream job. Why do we dream of labor in such a way? Why do we have this job that's supposed to define us as who we are? And why is a job so integral to our identity when it really shouldn't be? I don't think a worker bee, is like, oh, I'm serving the hive. I'm doing what I got to do. Shake, shake, shake my booty. My little wings are flying and they're flapping. How am I flying? Who knows? But that's just hive mind as part of a collective. We're so individualistic that what's the point? But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. We shouldn't dream of labor. You should have a job you enjoy, but it shouldn't be the whole entire part of our lives. You understand? Of course you do. You're watching this video. But on to our next point. All right, on to my second point. Why do we maintain these structures? That has been something I've been thinking about for a very, very long time. Am I 32 now? Hold on, am I 31 years? Am I 31 years of being on this planet? Hold on, that would actually mean I was thinking like before conception. Anyway, you know what I mean. In this long span of time that I've been thinking, why do we maintain the structures that we do? So, we put all of our eggs into one basket when it comes to our jobs. Like, we spend 40 hours there, yada, yada, yada. It's mostly technically where we spend more time at than we do with the homes that we try to get, maintain, decorate, all that good stuff. we spend more time at our jobs than we actually do when it comes to the places that we actually dwell in. You know what I mean? And you can really only enjoy it truly to its benefit on the weekends, when you're off, when you're sick. Let me see what else. Oh, and when you retire, or when you're sick and tired in your bed because you're old. You know, the whole thing is just so abusive when you think about it. It's all just so, it's very much abusive. It's run on fear and abuse, all of it. But why do we maintain the structures that we do? It's because we simply don't see another way out. Hold on, before you say we ain't got no way out. We are, as they say, adults, right? We're the new adults. That's scary. We're adults, which means we can make these decisions. We can actually be cognizant and understand that we have a choice. Everything is a choice that we do, whether we do it or not. It's all a choice, right? So before you say, that adult thing, like we're adults. We're literally adults. I can also say we're adults. Are we not? So it's all a choice, whether it be your consent or you just being silent. It's consent. By default. Does it make it right? No. Does it make it better understanding that the systems that we're currently in are affecting us and it's a problem? Yes. It's very much okay to understand that and see that and try to work through it. Not cope personally, but like work through it. How do I work through it? I'm glad you asked that question. I work towards my own dreams every single day. Do I think I'll get there? Yeah. Like I said in the last video, absolutely will get there. Just give me a little bit of time, cocoa butter and water. I will get there. Absolutely. There's no question about that at all. But will the system outlast your dreams? Gosh, that's a very powerful thing, honestly. But let's not get too deep on that. But for one, I think the reason why we hold up the systems that we do for our jobs is because, one, we're supposed to be the fine little cog in the grand scheme of things. And when you burn out, you're easily replaced. And the fear of you losing said occupation and job, and that keeps you in a worker bee mindset, because you were never taught how to, unless you went of your own volition to go and find out ways to be able to make these other streams and revenues of income. You weren't told to actually do this right here. And that requires introspection. That requires for you to think, oh, okay, it requires growth and evolution for you to break free from a system that requires for you to be a part of it. You see what I mean? Your way of thinking is supposed to be that way, for you to be maintained and for you to be able to be controlled and for you to be able to put into this thing and not question. I mean, you can question, but like it's meant for you to be complicit in it, to be able to forward the fear and abuse that goes on. I'm not saying that you are said abuser. No, nothing like that. It's a system itself. It's meant to do that, and eventually it cannibalizes you. Like that person on said island with said top percenters or whatever that's going on in the whole entire world, which is nothing new because they did it way back in the early times of, in the inception of America. They was doing that back then too, so it's nothing really new. But with that being said, those are the reasons why I think that the system itself are being upheld. Does it make it right? Hell no. But is it there? Should we recognize it and try to work against it? Absolutely. Will we get there together? You can't save everyone. I'm going to be honest. You definitely can't. Nor should you try. But is it a good thing to try? I think so. I really do. But hey, I'm just being honest with you in the facts, and I'm just telling you how it is. Is what it is. And lastly, with all that being said, to my third point, what do you want to be? So with everything that I've just said, from your why do we dream of labor, what's your dream job, to why do we support the system itself, my third question is that in a system where you wouldn't be tied down and having your time just relegated to this, that, and the third, where you had certainty, where you had security, where you had all of these things and you had time and freedom, what would you be? I think it's a good thing for us to dream. I would be, I don't know, I'd like to be a socialite, gardener, and community leader. That's probably what I would do. Could I do that now? I could. I definitely could. But let's just say, in the figurative, what would you want to be? What would you do with all that time? That is my question to you. With everything that we've, previously just said in the video, what would you be? If there was nothing holding you back, if you had unlimited money, unlimited time, unlimited resources time to breathe, time to relax, time to evolve, time to grow, what would you be? Would you continue to just do what you're doing right now? Put it in your 401k, save it? Would you do something that's great for humanity? Would you do something that's great for the collective? Would you be selfish? What would you do? What would you do? What would you like to be? That's a question that I impose on you. Just some food for thought. Anyway, I take enough of your time doing all this fun philosophical talking and on all the good stuff. But anyway, I have things to do. I have a garden to also get ready for spring and other stuff. But that's my question to you. And that's my third point. But anyway, I'm gonna give you back your face. It's been a very, very wonderful time. Anyway, fun. I'll talk to you later. Okay. All right. Later.